next time somebody is trying to sell that to you, you let them know that your vagina is up to the task. Yeah. So every day you wake up, there are 1,001 things you are told on the internet to do, not to do, to avoid, things to take, things that will do this, that will do that for you. And every time I really find that sometimes quite disturbing in the sense that a lot of these things are not even proven. There's no research to back them up, just people having opinions basically. Anyways, so there are like 5 things, 5 out of those 1,001 things I see that I really just want to talk about, because they are something that's on a daily, like every time I open the internet I see them, and you just be nice to, you know, just debunk those myths, because often than not they are mostly myths, not facts. So let's dive into it. So number 1 is you need supplements. So people that sell supplements will put it to you as though your body does not make these things or you are lacking in these things. So most of these things that are sold as supplements are either things that our body makes, or they are things that we eat in our foods, in our fruits, and they are basically different sources of these things that we have or that we get. So they are basically different sources that primarily comes from our foods. Now, am I saying that generally people will not need supplements? Of course not. So if you are visiting the doctor and then maybe you have some symptoms, you go to the hospital and maybe you are having some cramping, and then you do some tests, and then you realize that your calcium levels are low, or you realize that your potassium is low, or something like that, or maybe you have some vitamin deficiency, or whatever the case may be, of course your doctor is going to place you on supplements. Now there's a reason for it. Something is low, something is lacking. Not that you just sit down and think that you need excess of that amino acid or excess of that vitamin or mineral or whatever, and then you go and buy supplements. There are instances too, some people may have disease conditions like malabsorption, so they may be having issues with having optimum level of those stuff in their body. So for that reason they may have to take supplements to supplement the levels. Also, it can be some states, when I say states, like some conditions such as, like maybe for pregnancy, pregnant women may have to take some iron supplements because of the pregnancy states. It is more demanding. So we have some demanding states too, like growing children, people that are sick and whatnot. So in those instances, those supplements are needed, and then it is according to how your healthcare provider decides that you get it, because these things have optimum levels in our bodies. So some of them are stored, some of them are excreted, some of them have the optimum levels which our body stores, and then you taking extra is just you bombarding your kidneys with excess, and then it's so much work for your kidneys to do, and then it's just counterintuitive at the end of the day. So supplements are just like every other drug you take. You don't just go to the counter and buy your drugs. You see your doctor, and then based on whatever is wrong with you, you are prescribed medications. Same with the supplements. You see your doctor, whatever you are lacking, you are asked to get supplements to supplement it. Number 2 on my list is feminine wash. Yeah, those scented feminine wash that people are asked to buy, or people are told to buy, because it's going to help with, you know, your vagina smelling nice. The vagina will always smell like the vagina, because I mean it's acidic in nature, and then there's the lactobacilli. So whatever is the component of something, that thing will smell like it. So whatever is the component of the vagina, there's your vaginal discharge and whatnot. So the vagina will smell like the vagina, and the vagina is self-cleansing. You don't need any chemicals, you don't need anything to put in there to clean it. All you need is just your water to do a vulva wash basically, but the vagina will cleanse itself. So please avoid using those scented feminine wash, because honestly they are sold as though, you know, as a woman, if you don't use them, you know, you are not clean enough, you are not hygienic also. But the body has a way of regulating itself, and in this case the vagina has a way of doing its own cleansing. So please, next time somebody is trying to sell that to you, let them know that your vagina is up to the task. Yeah. So 3rd on my list is the detox tea that are commonly sold around us. So you're just passing by and you hear somebody telling you, oh, buy this, it's going to clean your body from inside outside. They show you pictures of people that have taken it, and then their pee is green, is red in color, and they tell you that, oh, that's the cleansing taking place. Or they give you something you take, you purge out your whole gut, and then they tell you, oh, that's cleansing. No, your kidneys, your liver works over time to detox and cleanse your body. So don't allow anybody to deceive you out there. There are foods that you can eat, such as fiber. If you are constipated, you need to take high fiber foods to help you to cleanse your system. So it helps you to be able to go to toilet. And then of course gut motility is very important to prevent some consequence of it, such as cancers and whatnot. So also, you take enough water, and then you have yourself peeing, and you see your pee is as clear as anything, because your body is cleansed. So honestly, do not fall for that. Your body, the whole mechanism of your body works harmoniously to see that the things you eat, they work well for your body. The things that are not needed are taken out of the body. The things that are needed are reabsorbed into the body. In short, sometimes our body sheds off old cells without you even knowing. Your hair falls off, you don't even know when and how. Your nails, they regrow. Like, a lot of things are happening that you are not even aware of, even as far as or as minute details as your DNA. Sometimes some mutations or some errors happen that your body corrects. So what do you think you want to do by taking all these teas? It's just people trying to make money off you. So next time, please just eat healthy and then drink the adequate amount of water, and I think that works. Number 4 on my list is the use of vaginal tighteners. I'm not even going to talk so much on that, because the vagina is a muscle, and then the vagina has elastic fibers as well. So just like every other thing that will expand, something that is elastic, that will expand and go back to its original size. Now, am I saying that when the vagina expands, it's going to return, or maybe you had childbirth, you're going to return to your original size? Of course not, but it's going to return to its near original size. And I think that's fine, that's adequate, because I don't know what it is that you go as far as putting things into your vagina. We are already talking about earlier I spoke about the cleansing is something that you put into your vagina, which is not advised. Now whatever it is that you are using for tightening is also something you are going to put in there. What makes you think that some drug or some oil or something will suddenly make your elastic fibers, your collagen fibers, to be more elastic? Or I don't know, but whatever the case is, just bear in mind the vagina is elastic, and just like every other thing that has an elastic property, it's going to expand and then come back to its near original size. So you give birth, of course you don't expect your vagina to hold the same to have the same elasticity or be the same size as it were prior to giving birth. It's just nature taking its course, and that helps you, because the subsequent delivery, of course, it also helps with the expansion, so that you don't have unnecessary tears. So whatever our body does, or whichever way our body acts, is just nature doing its own, or it's just how the body is designed to work, to help us literally work in our own interest. But sometimes we are the ones working against our body simply because we think we need to do extra to help the body. Last but not the least on my list is that refined sugars will cause diabetes. Well, at least not directly. So when you take high carb diet, your carbohydrates will have sugars in them. When you take high concentration or high levels of refined sugar, you are basically building up fat stores in your body, and then eventually you will have what we call insulin resistance. Your body is unable to utilize insulin as it ought to, and for every high carbohydrate or high sugar diet you take, your insulin spikes, and then eventually your cells can become insensitive to insulin. And then also, because of high obesity, now these things can directly lead to obesity. So taking a lot of carbohydrates and then not burning it off, because whatever you are taking, there's the energy reserve, there's the metabolism and all of that. That's a talk for another day. But whatever you are taking, your body should be able to utilize it. But if your body doesn't, it means it stores these things as fat, and then obesity is not a good thing in every standard. Once you are obese, you begin to have things like insulin resistance, and of course insulin resistance can subsequently lead you to type 2 diabetes. So yes, I'm not advising you to eat refined sugars as though there are no consequences for these things, but just to say that that is not what causes diabetes. In short, for type 1 diabetes, it's genetic, and then for type 2, of course, in this case, this sequelae can be from all of these, to obesity, to the insulin resistance. It's just like saying eating spicy food causes ulcer. Of course, that's not what causes the ulcer, but then it's something that aggravates an already existing ulcer. So these are also things that will lead you down the path of type 2 diabetes. So yes, everything should be done in moderation, everything should be taken in moderation, and then ensure that as you're eating, you're burning off that fat. So yeah, if there's something else or a myth or myths you want us to debunk, let's talk about it. If there are other things you've also heard about and they really sound ridiculous and funny to you, please put it in the comments. Let's talk about it. See you next time in my next video. Bye for now.